Some objects are not meant to please, they are meant to speak. And sometimes they tell a story even before the artist knows which one. My name is Kris Marko. I'm a symbolist painter, originally from the former Yugoslavia, a country that no longer exists. I was trained in France and now live in Cambodia. My work never begins with a clear idea. I work instinctively. I allow shapes, figures, and archetypes to emerge. I do not try to illustrate a concept. Instead, I let my unconscious produce images, and only afterward do I attempt to understand what the object might be trying to say. The vase you see here was born from this process. At first glance, it may seem unusual. It was not created to be decorative. Rather, it resembles a surface upon which images have settled, almost like those found on the walls of a cave or on fragments of an ancient bas-relief. To understand this object, one must first look at its structure. At the base of the vase, a wild world appears. Stripes, layers, and an almost organic agitation. Here, nothing has yet been named. It is raw matter, primitive nature, primordial chaos. Then a circular line appears, a kind of boundary, a membrane separating two worlds, the wild world of nature and the world of humanity. Around the vase unfolds a frieze, a procession of human and animal figures drawn like archaic pictograms. One might almost read it like a prehistoric comic strip. Each figure represents a stage, thirst, the animal. It embodies nature, instinct, biological life, the world from which humanity emerges. Then the hunter appears. Armed with his bow, he represents humankind confronting nature in order to survive. In human history, hunting is not merely an act of subsistence, it is also an initiation. The hunter's bow is drawn, and we see an animal that does not seem to want to flee. On the contrary, it moves toward the hunter. It trusts him. It almost seems to want to communicate with him, perhaps to share a confession, an eternal secret. But the hunter must kill the animal. He has no choice. After this ritual trial, this initiatory passage, the hunter watches the wounded animal flee with the arrow piercing its body. But the hunter is already no longer the same. He raises his fist and holds his head in his hand. He has killed the animal that comes towards him. He experiences a first moment of sorrow, even of despair. The arrow that pierces the animal completely? Could it also be a line making a change of state? Is the animal truly dead? Or is it in the process of transforming? Then appears the builder and the reproducer, the human who transforms nature, builds societies, and ensures the continuity of a species. But this power does not last. A reversal occurs. The human figure appears upside down, as if the world itself had been overturned. Then comes the wounded man, the man incapable of action. His arm seems detached from his body. The technical mastery of the world collapses. This figure represents a crisis, the moment when humankind realizes that material domination alone cannot give meaning to existence. At that moment, another presence appears, an animal seated calmly, almost wisely, like a guide. As if the animal once hunted were now revealing a secret. From this revelation, the human being changes his nature. He becomes a shaman. He becomes an artist. The shaman is no longer a hunter. He no longer seeks to dominate the world. He seeks to understand it. But the vase does not tell only a horizontal story. It also describes a vertical transformation. A kind of spine runs through the object. It connects the different levels of a vase. The wild world at the base, the frieze of human history, and the neck rising upward. This spine acts like an axis of the world. In many mythologies, one finds this idea of an axis connecting three realms: the world of nature, the world of humans, and the world of mystery or spirit. As the vase evolved, other forms appeared, golden surfaces, almost organic, like ancient skins peeling away from the material. These skins are not decorative. They evoke a molting, as if wild nature were shedding an old envelope in order to become human, a slow transformation, almost biological, where animality metamorphoses into consciousness. Above the frieze, the vase narrows to form a neck. But this passage is guarded. All around the neck appears shape, resembling claws like a barrier, as if access to the higher level were forbidden to most of the figures of the frieze. Only one seems able to cross this threshold: the shaman. Placed beneath the clear opening in the neck of the vase, this figure appears to be the only one capable of passing beyond that boundary. At the summit of the vase, the dark mouth of the amphora appears. A deep black space. It is not a celestial light, it is more like an abyss. As if, after passing through animality, struggle, crisis, and knowledge, the human journey ultimately opens onto the immensity of cosmic mystery. Thus, this vase does not simply tell a story. It proposes a cosmogony, a symbolic vision of the passage from animal to human, from human to sage, and from the sage to the unknown. An ancient story, perhaps as ancient as humanity itself, and one that continues silently to turn, by allowing my unconscious inner world to speak, that voice so often silenced. I found a way to reconnect with a universal human being, the one from the caves and the one from modern society, both searching for meaning, both still in dialogue, unconcerned with the passing of time.